Okay, we're now going to
So
work
let's
on the
look at our
Templeton.
first. Let's look at our first, where we are using ourselves, self as a resource. So that journey, how did it unfold? How did people make meaning out of that? How did we explore the idea of self as a resource? And so that way we can move with the key ideas and how we peeled the key ideas and connected to each one of our selves.
Yes.
And how did that inform our actions? How did that inform our day? How did we see the transformation in our thinking? While we were exploring this collectively, we were also making individual connections. And we were then monitoring ourselves as to how, after this injection of ideas and conversation and dialogue, how did I apply it to my own being? Something like that. So in the documentation itself, people are, it's so dynamic that people are able to, participants are able to make the shift, even if it is 1 month in between.
Yes.
You can see that you're not the same person thinking the same old thing, but you have now reached a point of recreating yourself in your everyday work and everyday being.
Yeah, maybe you have to entitle it, what you said is, we are our inner resource. That captures a lot, and it resonates with the students.
Yeah, because the contexts are so different. So we are not, that's why we've kept it non-prescriptive.
Yeah.
Because
it's very loose.
Our awareness will lead us into a more contextual transformation within ourselves.
That's right. And we can choose and pick which are the wonderful quotations, in inverted commas, of the participants themselves.
So the pedagogy is coming, pedagogy of life, pedagogy of being, pedagogy of our humaneness is coming through the lived experiences, because they are getting a platform to voice it, to reflect it, and to receive a kind of collective energy that validates it in spite of our different contexts.
Yeah, it's a bottomless.
Yeah, and the more they receive these skills to learn from their own life situations, then they don't depend on just external learning. The wisdom becomes part of them. So the toolkits of life, they are able to apply it not just in any one given situation, but it becomes like a toolkit that they can take anywhere they go, in any situation they go. They have it within themselves.
Yeah, it's the school of their own. Yeah. They have their own school.
Yeah. So that's how they land up being their own resource, because resource is something which you don't have it, you know how to tap it. That itself is, a lot of people don't ask, remember? We struggle, we don't ask because of our lack of our own self-doubts, our lack of confidence, our lack of having that capacity to be fearlessly asking questions, seeking out ways of engaging with the world. So when that becomes your toolkit, you're rich in resource as yourself, because you will not know everything. But the ability to know where to get what you don't have, what you don't know, what you need to kind of have, you'll be able to navigate life in a much more solid way.
So the ability,
and much more adventurous way, much more dealing with ambiguity.
Hitting home already. I love this. They become their own school, school of their own, because we're talking about school, right? And then you say toolkit. So we want to our purpose and commitment for this program is really empowerment, isn't it? And enablement. And also a lot of people, but where we are always then get caught up in is all the complexity and all the science and all that, right? And like you say, it's all out there, and then still it's not working, right?
Yes.
So then what really is a simple nugget, which is this, right? It's an ability to recreate
Mm.
your everyday.
Mm.
Is that right?
Imagine.
Because what's not working, if everything is working, then we don't have a problem,
Mm.
right? And we can't say we don't have problems.
Yes.
But the problems, the old problems cannot be, you know, there's a saying there, right? You cannot, the same eyes that created the problems cannot solve the problem. So you need different lens, because if you knew it's a problem, and if you knew it, you wouldn't create it.
Mm.
So you need a different mindset to solve it.
So we
So
cannot.
these are all
Yeah.
wisdom available, but
So
we are
we cannot,
applying it.
Yeah. I got you. So
And
even in this page,
what is striking is that this youth are not speaking externally and extrinsically. It's like you attend a seminar or webinar on self-fulfillment or personal growth or life happiness. They're beyond. They're beyond. They can articulate what is the depth
they have the
of
depth.
humanity.
Huh? What do you say again, Bunny?
They can articulate the depth of humanity because
Yes.
it's all experiential. This Hong Kong girl, this Hong Kong boy, Andromeda, coming from a very, very, I would say, modest background. This Marivic in the rural. They have something in common. They were
Yes.
able to plumb the depth of what humanity is looking for.
Yes. So which also means that our provocation for them is on the right track.
Yes, yes.
Had we already had a closed module,
No.
we would have landed up in the same place as others.
Yeah, and it's the same cliche. It's going to be cliched again.
We believe in their resource of themselves.
Yeah.
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 Mm.
And you see the treasure that we found right there. They gave it to us, you know.
So now it has to become not just giving it, so it is solidifying it. So it becomes a way of habit of mind, or it becomes way of life. It becomes the way, it becomes part of them, that there is no difference in what you know, there's no difference between that. So it's integrated.
So it becomes a way of life. Yeah, it's a way of life. So once you see this, but then the tensions of the world or outside just keeps taking it away. But we want them to hold this.
We have discovered the foundation.
Yeah, that's why I'm feeling it's the core already. You know,
The core.
It's the core already. We hit to the core today. That's why I'm like, because can feel it, right?
Yeah, can feel it.
It's soothing, you know, like for me.
And you know what I like about it, that three of us didn't have to do mega preparation for it, because again, it's coming from our lived experiences. So it touches heart. There is authenticity in it. We are not just giving a gospel truth to them. We are as much vulnerable as they are. We are as much learners as they are, because there is no written module for something like this.
There's no blueprint.
We have no answer anyway. When we started the session, I was talking about all those other stuff, you know. Things are still happening. We're still endeavoring, but we still weren't hitting the core until they spoke and shared with us and look at the kindness and the depth of that. I don't even want to put a word to it, you know. It's a
like what this Andromeda said. I took note of it. She said, "For her dignity defines the person. It comes from mirroring the person."
So they are also looking at sharing with them their life lessons, and in this context, it makes it rich.
It's very spontaneous and very real because it's their life.
And they're so young, and they're already so
for the sake of showing off, no?
It comes from a deep. That's why I said I don't want to use the word. The word is it's humility. I'm being humbled by it, right? But I don't want to use it. I don't want to use that word. But is there another word for that? But that is That's what
That's why
I'm
I
experiencing, you know.
didn't use the word humble because this is already a cliche. People
Yeah,
talk.
it's a cliche now, but
I just said to that guy, the Hong Kong guy, you know, the greatest misfortune in the world is indifference. When a person becomes indifferent, that is very.
so
And
we are really
they're
affirming,
out of the quicksand.
yeah. So we are really affirming that they have hit their core already,
Mm.
and now they find a way to solidify it, as you say, right?
Imagine where we
Yes.
went from identity, which was very shallow. We are then we go to dignity and integrity, which is still swimmable. But now it's really
Words, huh? Yeah, because now it's hitting home. You cannot go anywhere
no,
if you don't have this ability to
you have to recreate yourself.
recreate yourself.
Then,
Okay, so what's the next step for us? Because I'll have to go in the next 5 minutes. So what's
Yeah,
the next step
that's
for
why
us?
we're trying to find that.
here, you know,
Uh,
start to,
I think we keep to the commitment that we don't know yet, and we keep to the commitment of enabling them instead
yeah,
of us spoon feeding with our framing and
no, we just
adaptation
hear
to.
what the session is going to be all about. Yeah, at least we
I
have.
think we will just create separate Zoom sessions, I think, to listen to them once they've read the brief,
Mm,
and we can also invite the interns
mm,
and some of the other stewards, huh?
Mm.
Vashima, because Susie is very
Yeah.
passionate about this.
Yes.
I was really passionate about this pitch, just for this
Yeah.
pitch only, okay, this competition.
mm,
And we have the competition team. I mean, this one is just
mm.
1 month at a time, and I think cohort 2 we delay so that we can give effort to this competition, because the
Yes.
competition will solve the funding problem, and it's also
Yes.
the part of the program anyway, right?
And also the clarity that we will arrive in getting ready for the competition.
Yes, and then if we sort out funding, that means these guys have solved the funding problem. Then after that, it will encourage real problem solving as well. You know,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
learning in the actual world. Yes.
And then,
In
like
the
I said,
real
our
world.
vision for this program is we're going to transform societies and communities and economies. I mean, there is not, and it will transform Bilberries Blue as well. I saw it already just now.
There was
This-
something that Marivic mentioned, but it was very subtle, but it is
Yeah.
reality. She said, I don't want to do what others do. It says
Yeah.
conformism, which is a disease today. Everybody has to conform to something, whether
Yes.
on the global level or the local level. But these young people, they're not aware of that, but they have it in their core. They don't want to be conformists.
And they're still fresh, huh? Maybe that's why. But no, there's something about them. These guys are really cool. These guys are they are the change makers, you know.
When you reach this age and you say, life, how would I have lived life? I would have lived life better. What did I do when I was 20? It's there in the making right now. They're really living it. And this is I don't know if they consider this as a gift, but it's really a gift.
If they don't know it now, definitely in 10, 20 years time, they will. that we are sure of, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no, they are valuing the time. That's why they're making the time. And the attention and the focus is also really there. I mean, the transformation, the
No,
the commitment is there. So what we will do next is, now that Vashima has to go, is we will start up the team. Okay, it's a short project anyway, and then we will just go. We will just let them
experience it.
I tell you what, instead of, I'm just gonna drive it. Okay, let's do it this way. I'll drive it. Let me drive it. Okay.
Yes,
I think so. And you'll do a fabulous job. you know, we are all there for whatever you need, but that's the way for, because your speed is so
Yes.
excellent.
I think you can do it with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, together, whoever, and then I because when if I drive it, I have a particular way of
Yeah.
driving, like
Yeah.
how I was driving how this project or program
Yes.
came about,
Yes.
right? There
Yes.
is a particular way. So
And that pattern language with BB, it is essential we retain, because that's become such a it stands, it makes
because
it
I
stand
don't
out.
want to be so open until wow, it doesn't hit home, you know. It cannot. We
Yeah,
don't have the time, and
no, don't have the time.
yeah, and it's time to crystallize it already. So let me drive it with all the other stuff, and if you guys are all behind me, then I'm just going to drive it, okay?
100% behind you.
I know. Okay, if you all say it's okay, because I can get very driving when I'm
Yes,
driving. Okay,
that's
so
the only way to get there. So, but you're not teaching them. They will learn a lot when they work together.
just like the work shadow experience.
Yes.
I think the school leadership is seeing what it is. You know,
Temasek is going to give another cohort.
another
Wow.
5 students, and free form, not even 4 weeks or what.
Wow.
Wonderful.
They found a way. So
Wonderful.
it's really funny. They wrote in, you know. So
representation from Singapore.
yeah.
So the name will just pop, you know. Peck, don't you worry, because it's collective. So you don't think you're being just arbitrary by just choosing, because it's come through in the conversation. So good pedagogical documentation will have its roots in all these conversations. So be fearless in taking it on.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to follow, like your hands are following the brush when you were
Follow your heart.
follow your heart. I'm going to follow my heart with this, because
Yes.
I can feel it. I need to crystallize it, you know.
Yes.
I have to drive it.
YouTube this session, and then we can show it to Michelle.
Yeah. After this, I will.
It will really give her satisfaction.
Yeah, and Bernie, this is in SGX. It's real.
Yes, it's real. It's real. It's real. No wonder your energy. So I think these sessions are really amazing when they have all that world energy right there. You're sitting on it.
I'm sitting here. This is SGX. What more?
How did you get in? How did you get in?
Ask me too many questions about how I get to places.
How did you get in?
The next time we get into cannot. This session is being recorded.
Okay, all right.
No, I will stop the recording. Then I'll tell you.